Welcome once again, folks, to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. Forgot I moved my camera over to the side. I was doing something else, but before the show. Silly me. How you folks doing? Happy Halloween, everyone. It's final day of Booktober for 2021. And our book today is Graveyard Wars by A.J. Lieberman and Andrew Sebastian Kwan. So let's get to it, shall we, folks? Graveyard Wars, Volume 1, $24.99 hardcover. Publisher is Ablaze Publishing. I think there is also a paperback volume that's cheaper, but the one I borrowed from the library is hardcover. Anyway, publisher Ablaze Publishing. Writer A.J. Lieberman. Artist Andrew Sebastian Kwan, lettering by Darren Rawlings. The genre is supernatural science fiction. It was released December 2nd, 2020. What it's about: there are those among us, all of whom who have had near-death experiences, who now have an ability called a soul skill, which allows them to access the skill sets of the dead. In other words, if a fighter, like a kickboxer was killed, they could access that person's skills and use them. A mechanic, a sniper, pilot, hacker, assassin, any of this stuff. While not everyone who touches death is able to retain this ability, those who do retain the ability have formed two warring guilds, Caretakers and Darkhearts. The Caretakers' mission to use the power of the dead to protect the living. The Darkhearts, of course, to use the power for arguably malevolent purposes. Welcome to Graveyard Wars. All of his life, Ethan Noble, felt he was different, unstable, crazy. How else to explain his ability to master so many different skills only to have them vanish time after time? All her life, Carter Noble has tried in vain to help her brother, raise him, shield him, and understand him. An impossible task, even for a twin, because no matter how hard Ethan tried to explain his behavior, Carter was never able to understand. And in any attempt to enlist help from Sebastian, their father was met with an icy stare and a stony silence. What all three nobles will soon learn is that in a world where the secrets someone takes to their grave are no longer safe, you need your family more than ever. The problem is, when Ethan and Carter uncover a web of lies that lead to their mother's death, they're also led straight to their father. Basically, their parents were part of the experiment, and the kids had these abilities. And the mother was killed, when they were trying to escape with the kids by the people who were part of the factions of the Caretakers and Darkhearts. And so, he was trying to protect these kids from that whole subculture, I guess you could say, without telling them anything. But yeah, kind of like, gotta know. So that's basically it, just there. What is this like? What do I think of it? It's a lot like Mike, or not Mike. shoot. Well, anyway, Mark Millar's The Magic Order. Only it's not as good as the Magic Order because even though it's got magical groups using the same powers by our same sort of thing by different ideological groups, it's even more confusing than the Magic Order because there's even less explained about how these powers work and why there are two opposing philosophies. This is the Volume 1 trade, however, so maybe we can hope that future volumes will address this issue and make more sense. Unfortunately, editorially, this book just plain sucks. There are all kinds of writing and lettering mistakes, stuff like mixing up your and your, then and than, whose and whose, where the wrong version is being used. So many times, I think I lost count around 30 or so, that I rolled my eyes and just stopped counting. I wanted to throw the book in a fire, and probably would have if I owned the book. But since it's a library book, I'm just going to have to make a note that they should re-examine and determine whether they want to keep it on their shelves in this format. It's so unprofessional in that regard, and I'm kind of like amazed that the company even allowed this to go to press. It's so bad, or allowed this to go out in the market, I should say. They should have recalled the book and corrected it. The concept itself is okay. The execution is so-so art-wise. The story is meh. But ultimately it gets dragged down by these writing mistakes, and there's other plot issues that annoy me. Stuff that seems like it should have been addressed better, or it contradicts itself, but that could be addressed in later volumes to make more sense if they actually make future volumes. I don't know if they will or not, because when I saw so many mistakes in this book, I went online to look on Goodreads and other places to see what the reviews were, and there was all kinds of lower ratings because of the misused versions of words, which is entirely justified. If we're going to pay $25 a book, there shouldn't be dozens of these errors. Whomever edited this book should be fired. But anyway, it really hurt the enjoyment of the book, I think, for me. I couldn't get out of my own editor mode to read the book just to read it. And that's never a good thing. The story itself is recommended for ages 13 up, though I would personally wait for a Blaze to release a corrected edition, to be honest. I'm giving it only 2.5 stars based on how much mistakes are in it. If it didn't have the mistakes, it would probably get a grade higher, 3.5. It's really not that bad of a story. It's just got so much technically wrong with the production that I feel like I don't have a choice. I got to knock it at least a full grade, maybe a lower even. So I can only give it 2.5 stars. Here's some of the artwork. Early on, this is the mother racing away. As you can see, the home just is on fire. I don't know if you can see a person there or not in the background. She's trying to get away from people who are trying to steal her kids, basically. And you can see where they're at. This is, she's left the house, turned the road. Now they're going to have to shoot from, several hundred yards away through trees, all kinds of stuff here. He's like, you have the shot? Yeah. And what you see here is the guy using the dead sniper shooter as his ability to shoot. And this is not the next page right afterwards. She gets shot off the road. It blows out her front tire. She goes over the side over here where the bridge is, and the truck's destroyed. Her husband shows up, and she took the vials. You guys don't see, but anyway, she had 3. 2 of them got destroyed. There's only 1 left. She tells them they had to leave because the twins are babies, and basically, there you go. So he basically takes the kids and the vial and gives them the vial later on. And here's a scene where the kids are arguing at dinner, at a diner, and he basically says, okay, you want to see what we can do? Fine. He flips a bunch of cards, throws a knife out, and thunk, there's a 7 of spades, and that was the card that they kind of chose. And then there's another scene where they're being chased by people. Expert knife thrower. So little things like that. It's not a bad visual design work. It's quite well done as far as that goes. It's just, like I said, there's a lot of mistakes that shouldn't have gone through on a published, professional grade published book like that and mass market like that. So that's what knocked it down some. And that's all for this year, for Booktober. It is concluded. November will see us return to our regular type of schedule. Thanks for watching this past month and checking out all the reviews. And we really appreciate that, as always. Later today, we'll have 3 p.m. Quoth the Raven live draw, Monsters again. And tonight at 8 p.m. will be Movie Night Part 3, horror movies discussion with my co-host, John Norris. We'll be talking about movies, The Leopard Man, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Target's Dementia 13. It's not The Vanishing Corpse, it's The Corpse Vanishes. I don't know why I messed that up. But anyway, and Revolt of the Zombies. So that'll be the 6 movies we talk about for Halloween tonight. And so until then, as always, I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, or you think others might enjoy this video. Again, hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get support from this channel and get content from this channel, rather. I always say get support. I don't know why, but I just get content from this channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support on promoting this channel. If you want to reach out to me on social media, you can find me at Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, on Twitter at LewisBrightRave2. If you want to check out my artwork, you can go to deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, suggestions for ideas for future episodes, you want to commission artwork, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is the address. And if I don't get back to you within a day or two, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you later today at live draw at 3 p.m. Until then, see you next time.